So this video will be about troubleshooting the logical router interfaces and route mappings. Well, logical router, you of course know, those are hidden under the edges, and I only have one logical router here. And I only have one instance, and you can see my interfaces here. Well, you can kind of check out a few other things on the command line as well. So let's go to the command line of the first controller, and well, you can do a show control cluster, and just where we did logical switches, we can now do logical routers. Okay, logical routers, and if I hit enter, it will give me a complete list of all the sub commands that I can use. Let's try a few out. Let's do logical routers instance all. And it will give me all the instances of my, well, logical routers. So right now you can only see that I have one, and it's actually serviced by the second controller. So let's go do the same here. And this will basically give you the same information. It may take a while. Let's go back. So we can also have, right now we can see the logical router ID here. We can use that in order to retrieve more information. So right now we just did an instance all. This is the first command that you do in order to get to know what instances you have running. And then we can do, for example, an interface summary on that specific instance. There you go. You can see all the different interfaces, what I just showed you here as well. Let me make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, you can see the same IP addresses here. It's basically the same information. But here you can see the VXLAN ID together with it, the interface ID. A little bit information on a lower level, but it shows you exactly the same. Another command is that you can also view the routes. So let's go routes and then the same ID. Well, you don't see anything here. So let's try the same command out here as well. And here, because this node is responsible for that logical router, as we already saw here, we can suddenly see a lot of information here, and we can see what routes are available in that logical router. And this would be the same if I would go into the console of the LDR, and I'm not sure if I'm able to SSH into it from top of my head. I did SSH admin at 10.10. No, that 11.11 dot. No, it's totally wrong. I'm using 192.168.11.252 from top of my head. Let me see if that will work. No, that will not work. Otherwise it will probably give me a message back. But I used to be able to SSH into the LDR. This is probably not, I'm not sure why it's not working right now, but for example, if you go to the LDR console, so let's look it up, LDR, go to the console and probably need to log in here. Yes, I need to do that. The password. I did it a little bit too fast. There you go. So if I do a show IP route here, and I did, and I already did enter, I will see a list of all my available routes in the table. And again, it's taking a while. And that same list you just saw here as well. Okay, so but now pulled from the controller. Another nice command. If you are able to log into the LDR with SSH or with the console, we can also do some other commands here. For example, we can enable and type in the password again. We can do all types of show commands. Not in enable mode, I guess. Yeah, we can do all kind of show commands. We can do show ARP. We can do show interfaces. It's the same information it will bring up, but with a little bit more detail with the input packets, etc., etc. If we want to do some more detailed troubleshooting, we can do a show log. And we always better to use the reverse because we can see the latest information here. Right now there's no problem, so yeah, it's just all information that it's giving out. We can do a show IP route that I just showed you, and what's also a very good command if we log into the ESXi host itself. So right now the LDR is running on the 77, and the 77 is the ESXi 15 here. So I can SSH into that box, and I can do some other commands like net VDR, and it will give me all the options that I can do. So I can do net VDR and then do a grep route, and it will give me all kind of information where I can and it will give me all kind of options that I can run. For example, the net VDR minus L minus I. See, it will give me information about the instance, the VDR ID 1388, and here you can see the 1388 as well. See that? Pulled from the controller. So well, you can cross-check that, the number of interfaces that I have, the number of routes that are installed, the actual state, the control plane IP address, the controller IP that is currently responsible for it. We already knew that, right? And all of this information you can pull from it. You can also right now we have the name available here, so what we can do is do a net VDR and then do a minus route minus L and then this name. I think I'm doing something wrong. Let me look at it. Yeah, I already know what I did wrong. This needs to be a double route, and it will, well, bring me that same routing table. So I have three ways at looking at this routing table. I can do it through the ESXi host, I can do it through the controller itself, what I just did here, or I can do it on the console or SSH of the LDR itself. What I did here, not sure why the terminal is not responding here. Yeah, it's a very slow. At the moment, it's just very slow because I just spinned up these two new controllers. Maybe I'm thinking of deleting them again or making them inactive. But show IP route So this will give you the same table that will drop here and here and on the ESXi host itself. Which is pretty funny though. You can see it here. So there are 3 ways in order to look at the routing table. Another thing that we can do that is look at the lifts on this specific default edge. So what we can do is -L, and then we need to have the same default edge name, and there you can see all the interfaces with all the information, where it's connected to what the distributed virtual switch, and what the VXLAN is. Let's take one out, for example, this one, which is VXLAN 5002 and has this IP address 192.168.14.253. If we go back to the 14.253, which is LSDB, so all of this information is well, here available if you want to quickly check something out. Another useful command that I want to show you is netvdr -nbr -L, and then I had something else under my default gateway, under my my copy, I mean. And here you can see more information regarding some routing information here. So here you can see V stands for valid, I is interface. So you know that this interface here, well, these are all the interfaces, and if they are permanent or when they will expire. So this is pretty useful information if you have, well, a lot of problems. This information here is also what I just gave you, also covers the blueprint item troubleshoot VXLAN and logical router mapping tables. So, well, the mapping tables, how the logical router and the VXLAN are actually mapped to each other, and we can see the mapping here, right? You can see the interface and the VXLAN number.